It's Disney time! No, not a good one? Anyways, it's me, JT3K. T-Max is not here because he is sick. And it is just me with my laptop microphone making an intro for our show this week. Now, to explain a little bit here, since Troy is sick, we're going to try and do an old switcheroo. We're going to have our main show, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, take place on Monday. So for Thursday, decided we will do what we usually do for our regular Monday shows, which is just a throwaway show here and there, maybe a flashback, but to try and make it a little extra special, since for November we're going to be talking about the live-action Disney films that we have not talked about yet. Why not visit the ones we did talk about? Why not revisit both of them? How about that? Let's go back and do a Flashback Two-For and talk about our flashback episodes of The Jungle Book and be visited by our good friend Reet Skeets, who I've heard might be joining us for a couple of our November shows to talk about Beauty and the Beast. So there you go, a Flashback Two-For to make up for no show this Thursday, and then hopefully on Monday we'll have a full show for you talking about Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So hang tight and enjoy this Flashback Two-For starting right now.
So going into maybe a bit of a slump week here, and we're like, what are we going to review?
Oh yeah, we were
down to the wire.
We were down to the wire. We didn't even know what to say, what to
like,
talk about.
You know what? The Jungle Book's out. It's been hyped as being the most technologically advanced movie so far.
Yeah, I think
put to the silver screen.
You texted all of that to me, I think.
So we're like, let's go see it and tell the people what we thought.
The people need to know what we think about it.
Well, JT, to just jump in?
Might as well just jump in. I don't even know. Should we say spoilers or I don't know. People kind of know the story of Jungle Book.
Yeah, let's give a little, not a spoiler-free review, but let's just say Disney has been putting out their live-action remakes of their franchises like Cinderella and all that other stuff as of late.
Yeah.
Jungle Book, I'm going to say, is no different.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen the Jungle Book animated show from however many years ago it was, this is a story that you're gonna see.
It's pretty much the same story. I would say if you want something different out of it, I would say go for some of the performances. I'd say some of the performances are a little bit more different than how they're portrayed in the animated version. Some I may have liked, some I may not have liked. I don't know.
Time will tell. Stay tuned.
Well, stay tuned for that.
But yes, it's not quite as beholden to the original Disney animated movie.
Yeah.
But it does hit the huge story beats.
Yeah.
It's not quite a musical, yet there's music in it.
Yes.
But if you're a fan of it, I would say you'd be a fan of this.
They do a little extra because this is close to 2 hours, and the original was 1 hour and 16 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And yet they still cut stuff from it and still expanded on others.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Well, yeah.
Take that as a grain of salt.
Yeah.
That being said, this movie looks very nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
It is.
Everything was shot with green screen. Almost everything was.
Almost everything.
Everything you see of the jungle, all CG. Like, there was very little practical effects going into this movie.
So they prequeled it.
Yes, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, of course, this like stuff he's wearing at points and like sticks he's holding in his hand, that's real. They didn't just put a green thing in his hand and just put CG into it.
I only wish they did.
But obviously all the animals as well in this
Yes.
CG.
Yes.
The jungle looks amazing. There
Yeah.
are points where I forgot that this was all fake.
Yeah.
I will say though, sometimes the animals took me out because they looked CG. Did you ever get that point? Sometimes the wolves did a little bit.
Yeah, I would say out of everything, the wolves probably looked more animated, but there was, I don't know, some of like at times they kind of looked animated, but like their mannerisms seemed like so spot on.
Yeah.
Like the way they moved, it kind of made me feel like they were like actual animals.
Yeah. Especially sometimes when they get like scared and their ears kind of go
Yeah.
back and they kind of hunch down and like saunter off or
Yeah.
whatever. Like that looks really good.
Yeah.
There's also some points where I think Baloo looks a little unbelievable, but only sometimes.
Yeah.
Most of the time they look great.
Yeah.
There's one scene like in the beginning of the movie where like there's the I think is it Pride of Wolves or
Yeah, I think so.
Group of Wolves? It's like raining outside
Yeah.
and like there's no rain hitting them. I don't know why I was focusing on this so hard because I was
Yeah.
watching it and I'm like, wait a minute, it's raining. There should be like water dripping off their fur and their fur should look wet.
Yeah.
And it never did. And I'm like, I don't know. Because Mowgli is soaking wet at this
Oh,
point.
yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, that was the only thing. I'm like, it's going back and forth looking at Mowgli, and he's just dripping. And the wolves have like a bit of dew on like a strand of hair, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
it did look kind of awkward. I do remember that where it's just like you could just see like small beads of water like on like the tips of the edges of their hair.
Yeah. But this is minor nitpicks.
Oh yeah.
For a movie that is completely CG.
Yeah.
But let's go in because it's CG. The kid who played Mowgli, I didn't write down his name. Do you have it on you? I can't remember what it is.
I'll IMDb it.
I thought he killed it.
Yeah.
This is his first acting career, like thing to jumpstart his career too.
Yeah.
The first thing he ever did, and he's acting in front of nothing.
Yeah.
And he's killing it. There's like kids are notorious terrible actors.
Oh yeah.
And then at no point was I ever taken out of the movie because Mowgli did a lackluster performance. I really liked his performance in this movie, and I only hope that good things come from it.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought he did. Yeah. Especially for being like, what was he, like 10 years old or something?
Yeah.
And he was just acting in front of just a bunch of like probably like tennis balls and shit. Like there was
Trying to mount over green blocks.
Yeah, like yeah, it was really impressive to see him actually be able to act like that. Neil Sethi.
That's right. And Neil spelled really weird, right?
Yeah, it's Neel. Not like Dinosaur Neil.
I'm writing that down now. Not like Dinosaur Neil.
Yeah.
Here we go. Neil Sethi.
Should we call Dinosaur Neil Dinosaur Mowgli from now on?
I think we should. Yeah. What a tremendous job.
Yeah.
That kid did.
And like the whole movie centers around him, so you can't try and escape the fact that you're going to be spending the whole movie with this kid.
Right. Some cool things I like that he did in this rather than like the cartoon is that even though he was raised by animals, he still has like a man's intellect.
Yeah.
And he would use that to like help him and like to get water out of a little pond. He used like a bowl on a string rather than go down there and just lick it up and lap it up like everybody else.
Yep.
But of course the animals don't like that because that's man's way of doing things, not animals' way of doing things. But anyway, he had a lot of little like tricks, he says, like enough of man's tricks.
Yeah.
But
Your tricks.
once he meets up with a friendly bear, Baloo.
Old Baloo.
Baloo is all into man's tricks.
Well, he's just all about just doing what gets the job done.
That's right.
Because he does not give a shit about anything.
Not really. Anything you wanted to bring up?
Trying to think from what we've been talking about. Like, I like all of the like especially like the montage with like him and Blue, where like he's actually like developing like this whole like pulley system to get these like to like carve these honeycombs off this cliff. Like that, I thought that was really cool. Just to show like all the like little differences. I like the story of the Jungle Book because it's kind of like, I think it'd be like a really good movie to show somebody who's like moving out of the house, like out of like their parents' house. It's like that movie where it's like you're on your own and you're gonna have all these different forces pulling at you to do these different things, and it's up to you to figure out which one is the best one for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like that's always kind of like the story of the Jungle Book. Because this one has a different ending from the animated one too.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up when we get to it. The voice cast in this pretty diverse.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome all around.
Yeah, pretty awesome indeed. Now you maybe put a little hint out there.
Yeah,
that may not have been as spot on as you wanted, because when I heard this voice cast initially, that I thought like, wow, no misses. Sounds like a great choice for everybody.
Yeah,
but I have one nitpick
really?
for a voice for somebody voice, and it might be surprising.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't always think that Shere Khan's lines landed.
Really?
With like enough gravitas to be threatening at some points. But I like Idris Elba as the voice.
Yeah.
But I just think sometimes I needed more like a bassier voice, but that I know he can do, and maybe the voice that I had set up in my head that Idris Elba that I thought he was going to do didn't necessarily land with me. But everybody else I pretty much liked.
I don't know. I think Idris Elba or Shere Khan was like my favorite character in the whole thing. Because like, I don't like, especially with Idris Elba's voice, because it almost kind of sounded like with Idris Elba, I always kind of see him as like he can be like this really like debonair guy, but then like he can also play these characters that are just like super like shitty and like very like sinister. And I totally got that from Shere Khan, where like there's just like that one scene in particular where he's like talking to the leader of like the pack of wolves, and he's not even like sweating, he's just like laying right next to him, like just like having this casual conversation, and then out of nowhere he just fucking picks him up and chucks him off this fucking cliff, like out of nowhere, like Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Where like I don't even like sense any kind of like, or I didn't even sense any kind of like distress in his voice or anything. He was just kind of like casually talking to him, like, oh well, kind of want to know where the man cub is, but he's not here, and he said he's gone, so whatever. And then like, boom, toss him off the cliff. I'm staying around, bitches. Like, holy shit.
And
like, yeah. And then there's like that scene where he's like just casually talking to like these wolf puppies.
Oh my god, that was so tense.
I know. Oh my god, it was so good. Especially like when he lets all of them go and then just puts his paw in front of one of them. Like, oh my god, please don't fucking kill a puppy in this. Oh my god.
I know. Because like in the movie, like these are like Mowgli's little brothers essentially. But yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I really like Shere Khan in this movie.
Yeah.
I just felt, out of everybody who was cast as a voice, I felt like maybe some of his lines fell flat for me. But maybe I'm too beholden to the cartoon, because the guy who did his voice had a very deep, bassy voice.
Yeah, like it wasn't like a very cliche villain voice.
No,
like it almost sounded like and like in his prime, like Shere Khan could have been like this like ladies' man of tigers, where he's like, oh hey, what's up, ladies? And then one day he was like just hunting, and then got burned in the face, and he just kind of turned into this like monster, but he still can't turn off like this kind of like charming version of himself.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like maybe I didn't like pay enough attention to the voice, but like just the presence of him in it was.
I know he was physically demanding.
Yeah.
Like when he walked up when at the point where there's like a drought in the movie and everyone's at Peace Rock just like lapping up this puddle left of water.
Yeah.
And he shows up. He is like this big brute of a tiger, and he shows up and everyone's like, oh shit.
The jungle just like clears house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
even at the end, like the whole jungle attacks him, and he just like kicks everyone's ass.
yeah.
It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he was quite the figure out there to be scared of. What did you think of Bill Murray as Baloo?
I liked it. It wasn't it's definitely not. I didn't get the same feeling from him from like that Baloo as I did like the Baloo from the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
Like this Baloo felt like. I don't know if I like this Baloo more. Like I feel like it's like more believable, kind of in terms of a talking bear.
Sure.
Because it's like, it felt like more like a con man for sure.
A little bit, yeah. But I thought that Bill Murray's Baloo, besides Mowgli, like stole the show.
Yeah.
There were more laughs in the theater when Baloo had any line than anywhere else in the whole movie.
I know. Like he would. I love this Baloo because he would lie constantly.
Yeah.
And then when he gets called out on him, he'd just be like, "Oh yeah, well, it's not. Yeah, well, it's not that." But it's like he didn't even like.
Well, sure, it's not the whole
like,
truth.
Baloo is like so lazy, like he doesn't even have like the energy to defend himself when he's caught in a lie. He's like, "Yeah, I lied, but you know, you got what I wanted."
I mean, I'm not doing anything inherently evil here.
Yeah, I just want some honey. This kid said he'd do it. Whatever.
It's on him.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
But yeah, I thought he killed it. Like he was one of my favorite performances in it. But I think I liked his performance, but I think the most spot on voice was, Ben Kingsley as Bagheera. At no point did I ever like step back and was like, that doesn't sound right, or I'm like, that sounds like Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Like at all times, like this is Bagheera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ben Kingsley has like that really good, like stern dad voice.
Yeah.
Like if Ben Kingsley's your dad, then you'd probably like were whipped into shape because he just sounds like somebody who's like, oh, well, sit up straight, and make sure you do your homework and eat vegetables and
do all that stuff. And I think he looked the most realistic as well. Like his character model, like I never saw any.
Well, and he's completely black too.
Yeah, so
it's pretty easy to like. Yeah, it's easy to hide imperfections and stuff.
But he was really good. Scarlett Johansson playing Kaa.
I think that was probably the most interesting character out of. I almost kind of wish I saw more of Kaa.
She only has one scene.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I think isn't like Kaa kind of like a lackey of Shere Khan's and
in the
animated one.
one.
Yeah, like she just has like a small part in this, but it was like, it was done so differently from the animated one. Like it was almost like more seductive than like hypnotizing.
Yeah, but it's cool. They still played like Mowgli was still able to be hypnotized by her.
Yeah,
which is cool. Well, like the original voice for Kaa is Winnie the Pooh's voice.
Yeah.
Did you ever I never put that together until I just saw something recently.
Yeah, I think I heard that. Like the voice of Kaa is the original Winnie the Pooh.
But I really liked going into it. I heard that was some people's like least favorite, and I'm like, no, I don't think I really liked it. I think was she nailed it.
Yeah, and she has like Scarlett Johansson has that amazing raspy voice where it's like it can be like so seductive where you're like, oh my god, I kind of want to fuck that snake.
And she kind of goes into the "Trust in Me" song a little bit. She doesn't go fully into it, but it like teases it. Well, which brings me to
Just
another.
kind of brings it up.
Yeah, that this does have songs on it. Like they do sing
Yeah.
Bare Necessities a little bit. They don't go into like sing the whole thing.
Yeah.
But they sing like a verse or two of it.
Yeah.
And it changed it a little bit.
Yeah.
And they sing the song with the character we'll bring up next,
Yeah.
King Louie. Yeah. They sing
Be Like You.
Be Like You, and they tease like the Trust in Me song. But other than that, those are the only songs in the movie, kind of.
Yeah.
They do like harken back to like that weird Jungle Book theme that you hear throughout the whole animated movie. It's like
Yeah.
That's kind of in the movie, like here and
Yeah.
there's like a reprise. But let's go jump into King Louie because I have quite a bit to say about King Louie.
Really? Well, you go ahead then.
He's not an orangutan in this.
No.
He's like a
Enormous fucking
Gigantopithecus or whatever it is.
Gigantopithecus. Yeah, that's what it was.
Face looks like a fucking dinner plate. Christopher Walken kills it in the voice. When they said Christopher Walken was playing King Louie, this is exactly what I pictured.
Yeah.
And it didn't let me down whatsoever. And almost the whole scene plays out just like it does in the cartoon, except a little less comical.
Yeah.
Because I would say this is like the scariest part of the movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like I'm surprised more kids in the theater didn't get up and or get upset at this part of the movie.
Yeah.
Because it was scary when King Louie gets up and is like chasing Mowgli through this dark temple.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, they play King Louie off a lot more like a mobster or like a kingpin in this. Where it's like, and then like I like the whole thing of like it looks like he barely moves from that spot. Like he just has like smaller like monkeys like going through his fur, like cleaning him and like feeding him and shit.
Yeah. He's like the 1,000-pound man that never got off his couch.
Yep. And then
and
like
had to be like cut off his couch or whatever.
Like the only time that he ever got up was like, oh shit, I'm about to like lose his man cub. I better get up and try and kick some ass.
But I loved it. I loved the whole thing.
Like all that stuff with like all the monkeys and stuff. Like I was a really big fan of the scene where they were like actually like delivering Mowgli to King Louie, where it was like all these super like random movements where it's like there's like a group of them like carrying him and then they throw him to like one orangutan who like swings through these trees and then like tosses him to like another one like over another tree. Like it was really like intricate and really interesting.
Yeah. It kind of comes out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of a tease as like they're kind of floating down the river and you like him and Baloo and there's like a rustling in the trees or whatever and then all of a sudden boom, he's like getting whisked away to freaking King Louie's monkey house.
Yeah. It's like Incan temple or something.
Chelsea Danger brought this up to me when we were driving back home. Like, not all the animals talk.
No.
And that's, like, with a lot of the monkeys, none of them talk except for King Louie.
And then there's, like, some that just say, like, one word at a time.
Yeah. And it was weird. I couldn't gauge, like, which ones, like, does that mean they're just, like, dumber animals? Or,
yeah, I don't know.
Like,
or like
smaller animals.
I don't know if it was that, or maybe it's like ones that like because I know like Mowgli asks, like there's like one part where like there's these animals that don't talk, and he like asks them like what kind of language, if they know like this language or something.
Oh yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's like something where it's like a certain language that Mowgli doesn't know, or like he only knows like bits and pieces of, and then that's the ones that just say one word.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
As in the cartoon, King Louie is interested in getting that red flower.
Oh yeah.
Which is man's fire.
Yep.
Man's fire is pretty threatening in this because at one point, like Mowgli goes to the man village.
Yeah.
To go like retrieve some fire essentially.
Yeah. And
the way they depicted
the village is like on fire. Like there's like fire's bigger than all the houses there.
The way they film it and the score that's going on, like the fire looks so threatening.
Yeah.
It shows it from like the animal's point of view and shows how scary it really could be.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like they show like the man village from a distance, and it's like it just looks like a big pit of fire.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got just like this ring of houses.
Yeah.
And the biggest bonfire
a ring
in the
of houses
middle.
surrounded by the most enormous fire ever. Like even in the daytime, it's like Jesus, like
blinding.
Yeah, can you like bring it down a little bit? How are you getting that much kindling for an enormous fire?
Going back to like, I just remember this when we were talking about the animals talk. There was like one scene during the honeycomb scene.
Yeah.
Where, well, it's a little bit before that too, but Gary Shandling has a voice in this.
Yeah, he plays a porcupine in it,
which is really cool.
Yeah.
I wondered, like, because of his passing, maybe they put more of his character in it, which would be good. Like,
yeah.
But I was also reading the credits to see like if there are any other voices I recognize.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi does a voice in this movie.
He does?
Of like a giant squirrel.
Oh,
and I think that's one during the honeycomb scene. He's like the squirrel.
The flying squirrel?
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm like, what the fuck is he doing in this movie?
Well, the one, like the wolf that plays like Mowgli's mom is played like Lupita Nyong'o. She plays Maz from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And then the leader of the wolf pack is played by Giancarlo Esposito, who was Gus from Breaking Bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't recognize that name.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. Star-studded.
Star-studded.
If I had really anything other than nitpicks for this movie, I thought the ending, I wish it wasn't at night. Because I felt like besides like when Shere Khan is chasing Mowgli at the end.
Yeah.
Like it's all at night. And it's really, I don't know if the theater was dark or just the projector that was dark. Like I had a hard time telling what was going on during like.
Well, I can see why they wanted to have it at night so like the whole, like the danger of like the fire was more apparent.
Yeah. But like he had a fight with like Baloo and Bagheera and a bunch of other animals. And it's just kind of like tussling about, and you can't really tell I couldn't anyway tell what was really going on. Maybe when you get the DVD, it'll look different.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I kind of could tell. Maybe just have really bad eyes.
Maybe like I could tell what was going on. I just wanted to see like all the work they put into this and see like the visceral actual fight and everything.
Yeah,
that's like my biggest thing.
Yeah, but. I don't know. The one gripe I had with the ending was like, I don't know if they do this in the like cartoon either, but like that whole scene where it's like he even brings up that they're in a dead tree and there's nowhere to go, but he's like Shere Khan still jumps at the branch and he was like, oh shit, it did break. Like you just brought up that it was going to. Like that's part of your threat towards Mowgli was like, oh, you stand that branch too long, it's gonna break. And then he still jumped on the branch. I was like, oh, I'm dead now. Fuck.
Sorry.
Like, what the fuck, Shere Khan? You're like so suave and like so methodical this whole movie, and then you're just like, fuck, I'm gonna all in.
He was overcome with a hungry rage to eat a man cub.
I guess. But yeah, I definitely Shere Khan's look in this was really cool too.
Yeah.
Like the whole like cloudy dead eye that he had.
Yeah. That's really good. Fetty Wap eye.
Yeah, Fetty Wap eye. Yeah, Fetty Wap Khan.
The ending to this is a little different because he kind of stays with the animals at the end rather than go to the man village.
Yeah, the cartoon he goes to the man village. And I did hear they were thinking of doing sequels to this, so I'm guessing that's probably why they chose to go that route.
I think it's necessary to do that, but
well, hey, you got money.
I guess. I think there was a Jungle Book 2, though.
I think there was too, and it probably sucked. I think it was
just us saying like I think there was.
Yeah,
probably means it sucked.
It was probably one of those straight to video things.
Oh, I can only imagine. But yeah, in the cartoon, he sees like he Indian girl like gathering water from a river, and it's like the first boner he ever
and
got.
then he goes to fuck her.
He goes to bang this chick and like leaves all the. This is where the animal kingdom becomes irrelevant to him because he's
like
horny for the first time.
I'm gonna miss all you guys. Oh my god, tits. Like, that's how it ends too, with him yelling tits.
Oh, tits.
Oh fuck yeah, those tits. And then just like pouring water on her tits, and then he's like, fuck yeah. And then he just goes over and just bangs the shit out of her, and Baloo's like, that's my Mowgli, and that's the end.
Yep. That's my Mowgli.
Yep.
Oh man, cub.
Look for the bird. And then he's like, as like Mowgli's pounding the fuck out of this chick.
I think that about does it for Jungle Book, unless you have anything else to add.
To go back to like the musical elements of it.
Sure.
I like the whole like bring up the trust in me, like just bring up that line. I like that. I did like how they incorporated bare necessities, because they kind of brought it up as kind of like a way of like showing how Mowgli and Baloo are kind of connecting with each other. Because at first, like, he starts like he like hums it to himself, and like Mowgli's like, "What's that?" And he doesn't even know what a song is. And then at the end, and then after they show like some time's gone by, like they're like floating on this river and they're singing the whole song together, like kind of like they've had this like they've developed this bond with this song.
Yeah.
But like I Want to Be Like You felt really out of place.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree. I thought it was fine. Like, it just seemed like he kind of started singing it out of nowhere.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Like if they reinforced more that he was just like straight up like cuckoo bananas crazy, and would just on a whim just started singing, and everyone just kind of stared at him like, all right, well, he's singing the song. I mean, like, maybe, but it just kind of felt like maybe if he just brought up if it like said like in a poem way or whatever.
Well, he kind of eased his way into it a little bit. Like, he didn't just go like, and 1 and 2 and went into the song. He kind of started saying some lyrics, and then it kind of went into the song a little bit.
I think out of all of like the musical reference, like all of like the song references from the animated version to this, I think that was the one that felt the most forced.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 1 out of the 2 songs that are really in it.
Yeah, that's true. But
I don't know.
I don't know. It didn't take me completely out of it. It just felt a little out of place, where it's like him singing, and then they're just kind of standing there like, oh, he's singing now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And they changed the lyrics up a little bit too. Actually, in all the songs, I think they changed the lyrics up a bit. But you do get to hear "Trust in Me" in the end credits.
Yeah, which me and Lolo both agreed that we want this song to play before we go to sleep every night.
It would be very soothing.
Oh my god. Especially with like Scarlett Johansson's like fucking sexy ass voice. Like I'd fall asleep with a boner every night.
What an uncomfortable way to go to bed.
I know. It'd be worth it though.
I suppose.
I won't have to sleep on my stomach anymore, but
yeah, you have to rid that away.
Just tuck in my waistband, bro.
Yeah. All in all, Dinosaur Neil gave a rating of a B+.
Oh.
And I thought about it, mulled it over.
Yep.
I think I would give it a solid B.
Okay.
Wasn't my favorite movie in the world, but it did some things I really liked. I'm going to give it a solid B. If I had to grade it.
Yeah, I'm really torn between like a B+ and a B. Like it's I give it a lot of credit for like all of the original things that it tried to do.
Yeah.
Especially with like, I'm pretty sure Jon Favreau was just told to just remake the Jungle Book.
Right.
Like, just do this. Like he just give him the animated version. He's like, oh, is there anything else you want? No, just do this.
Yeah, just we're doing this now.
So like to be given like something that's been done and something that's beloved like the Jungle Book, and actually like have enough guts to like add stuff to it, to where it's not people being like, that's not the Baloo I know.
Yeah. This isn't the same.
That's not the same. I want to see why isn't he singing like he did in the movie? Like the fact that he actually had enough guts to do that, like, is like, I think is commendable enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll go with Neil and give it a B+.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good recommendation. B for a Jungle Book movie.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what Andy Serkis's version that got pushed back is like. Because I heard it's like an origin. It's like, origin of what?
Yeah, origin of...
This
yeah.
is the origin.
Well, you're going to look at a baby being taken care of by wolves?
Yeah. Because they did, like... They went back farther in this than they did in the cartoon version even.
Yeah.
Like, they showed Mowgli's dad at one point.
Yeah.
So it's like, how far are you going to go back? What is an origin?
I wasn't a big fan of the whole, like, them going back and actually showing what happened to Mowgli's dad, because it almost kind of made, like, Shere Khan is like an absolute asshole. Like, I almost like the idea of, like, okay, so Shere Khan gets burned by fire of some sort, and now he's, like, all anti-man to the point where it's like, yeah, okay, he's a man cub, but he's going to be a man, and then he's going to burn everybody because that's what they did to me. Like, I can actually sympathize with that to a point where it's like, oh, man, I can't really argue with him. I mean, pretty sure like, people are just going to be scared of tigers no matter what. I can just totally see somebody like, oh, tiger, and then burn the fuck out of him. But, like, when they show, like, the flashback with, like, Mowgli's dad, like, showing that Shere Khan killed him, there's no, like, oh, fuck, he burned me. It's just like, you were gonna kill him regardless, Shere Khan.
Yeah, both of them.
Don't be a dick. Don't be like an asshole and be like, oh, I got burned by man. Oh, boo-hoo. No, you're just an asshole, dude. So don't even, like, try and pull this shit with us.
That didn't bother me as much. Didn't hate it.
No. Well, I didn't hate it. I would have liked it more if it was like, I could see his point, and then I can see everyone else's point.
Got it.
I can't see Shere Khan's point because he's an asshole regardless.
He's a dick.
Shere Khan, you're a dick.
Eat that. Guess what? We're here for what you came for.
I came for all of it, but
Because you
mostly the beer.
you came here
For the
you came
free
here
beer.
to be our guest.
I'm putting your service to the test, and if you ask me, your frickin' games with that bottle opener was ridiculous. Oh, is it in your asshole again?
Is it in my ass?
No, it's over here. Wait,
Oh,
no, it
damn
isn't.
it.
It isn't. I don't see it anywhere.
It's right in...
Well, I don't
was
need
not
it.
in my ass. This someone was not in my ass.
We saw Beauty and the Beast
Live action remake.
live action remake this last weekend. And boy, I'll tell you what, let me give you some facts right up top. It did gangbusters this last weekend.
Ooh, hot toddy.
Rumored to make $170 million on its opening weekend.
Yep.
Made 174.7, making almost $5 million more than its estimated opening weekend, which is huge.
Yeah.
Power Rangers is estimated to make 30 to 40.
Yeah.
This made much more than that.
144.
Its production was $160 million, so it's already made that back. Domestically, it's made $206.1 million as of the 21st. Worldwide, $428 million.
This movie is balls.
It's
But I mean balls in the good way.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use balls
It's
in
the
a
good
bad
balls.
way.
Yeah.
It's the
good balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost to $500 million already, and it's only been out, 1 week.
Yep.
Doing gangbusters. IMDb has it at a 7.9, and Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 70%. Do we agree with that? Or do we not? Find out at the end of our review.
You said 70%?
70% Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Which is
70.
it's actually a climb from when it first started, because it had a lower score just when it came out.
Ooh, boy.
because there was such a monstrous ridicule.
Oh
about
my
it because
god,
it had-
gay person!
You know who?
Gay
Oh, in the
scenes
gay.
in it.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably my mom was on there probably. Gaston!
Constant.
Negative.
No, my mom likes gay people, but she just hated that Gaston scene apparently. It
Oh, you were telling us about it before we
was
started
only
recording.
1 minute long.
Yeah, it was a minute
Yes.
long, and it
He
was
was just
exactly
sitting
the
in the
same.
chair and
The Gaston scene. When he
Yeah,
says
Dude,
Gaston.
seriously.
Yeah. She must have not watched it at all.
That's what
and
I'm
just
saying. She
thought
said it was a
watched
minute
it.
long. I was like, what did you actually watch? Because when I watched it, it was the exact same thing as the other one, and it was the best thing I ever watched. So, bye.
Did she? Is she the like a person who watches movies and TV shows fast forwarded? Like,
No, she was on her computer.
Oh.
I don't watch anything on TV. Hello, hashtag bootleg in my house. Bootleg or bust.
so
kidding.
JT,
Yes.
I'm gonna start out. What do you think the story of Beauty and the Beast was?
You're gonna make me synapsize everything from now on?
Yes.
Start to finish
Well-
now.
A young girl who is known for her reading prowess is led to a castle because her father is kidnapped by a certain beastly type character
Oh.
who was actually a prince who was cursed by an enchantress and forced to fall in love with a girl who in turn loves him back. And they come across each other, and do they fall in love? I don't know. You have to find out and see
Yeah.
in the movie.
That was a test. You passed, JT. You did see it.
Yes!
Wow.
I did see it, like, 20 years ago.
It came out in
yes.
1991.
Okay, so it's like 20...
Peak of our childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I was like friggin' 4.
We've been at least 5.
Yeah.
1991? Okay, I'm sorry. I was born in 1987.
Yes, I was born in 86.
And you were born in 1987.
I was.
JT, so what the
Yeah.
hell? You weren't 5?
I didn't say
You
it
were
was
4
5.
shit!
I was...
You might have been 5 pot, but you're only freaking 6 months older than
Yeah.
me.
I was 4 as
Take
shit.
It. He was 4 AS.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. So, spoiler free.
Yeah,
Spoiler
don't
free.
spoil the story of Beauty and the
Don't
Beast.
spoil it in case anybody's
This
never...
28-year-old story.
That's a good point.
Dude, this
I'm just
came
in the
out
habit of already saying it, I suppose.
91 this movie came out.
How old were you in 91?
Me and Reeds were 4 as shit.
Yeah, we were
Good.
4
Okay,
shit,
good,
and you
good,
were
good.
5 drive, bitch. Drive
I drive.
Get out of here.
So, what did either of you see the original animated after you watched?
I watched it before I got here.
I did not watch it after, but
you-
I have a son, so I have watched it
Yeah.
several times. I
You
mean,
actually have a frame of it on your...
I'm wearing a shirt that has Gaston looking at himself in a mirror on my shirt.
Oh my
Yes.
god!
Yes.
He uses antlers in all of his decorating.
Yes.
Oh, what a guy, that Gaston!
So, what is there any major differences between the movie and the animated version? Because I haven't seen the animated version in a long time.
There's a few more songs.
Yes, more songs.
There's more songs.
The Beast had a song.
Yeah, the Beast had a song.
I hated it.
I didn't particularly hate it, but...
Oh, that's the one after he sends Belle.
Yeah, when he
back
sends
he
Belle
to
sends her
town.
away.
off, and then...
It wasn't the best song, but out of all the ones they added, that was the best one that they added.
I just feel like the Beast was like a loud, angry, mean guy, and then he like sang like a beautiful songstress, and I was like, nah, that ain't the Beast. He would have been like, rise and rise. But I mean, he was all like,
Just have the Beast sing
Horrible.
Be Prepared. Be
Yeah.
prepared.
have him sing a Lion King song. I mean, I wrote
Jeremy
in.
Irons
I wrote into the producers, but they didn't think.
But
that
no,
was a
yeah,
good idea.
I did not hate the Beast song. It wasn't like the strongest song out of all of them, but it was the strongest out of the ones that they added.
That was the one I was like, I couldn't remember if that one was in the original or not, because I'm like, I don't remember hearing this,
No.
but I might have heard it.
Like the one
But I
that
can't remember.
the one that Belle's dad sings when he's like,
Oh God,
that
yeah.
one sucked real
Yeah,
bad.
that's-
I
Which
did
one
not
is that
like
one?
Right,
Like
it
the
was
one
like
that
right
he's
at the
the
beginning
one that
when
he's
he
singing
was
when she
like-
like walks in and like just like looks at him like, oh,
He's
there's
like,
my dad, and he's like singing like the
like
oh
some
I
dumb
should tell
song.
her or whatever.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't mind that one. I thought it was kind of sweet.
I thought that was real bad. I like the Beast one better than that one.
Oh, I think I like the dad one more than I like the Beast
I
one.
definitely like
the
the
dad
dad
one.
one more than I like the beast one.
Whatever.
Maybe
You
it's
guys
because I
are
don't
dumb.
have a dad and I have a beast.
That makes perfect sense.
All right.
But yeah, I liked Kevin Kline's. No, wait, is it?
Yeah, it's Kevin Kline. He plays.
Okay,
the dad.
because the whole time I was watching the movie, I kept calling him Calvin Klein, and I'm
Oh,
like, I know
like
that's
that
not
Bundy.
right, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep calling him that until I,
think
he's
figure
a
it out.
close-
The beast was
designer,
wearing
yeah.
Calvin Klein underwear the whole time though during the filming.
Makes sense.
I'm pretty sure. So
Oh God.
So I was still right on.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked that it kind of. I didn't need, I guess, a backstory for Belle's mom, but I liked all the stuff that they kind of added in there.
know.
I think they had to add it in to make the movie longer.
Yeah,
than
because it's
the
a half
other
hour
one.
longer than the original.
Yeah,
animated
and
one.
the half hour was the bullshit that they added that I hated.
Yeah, I did not like the whole Belle's
didn't-
mom
yeah, I
backstory
didn't- I
thing. It
mean-
felt really forced, and like especially like the here's a book that takes me anywhere I want to go, and it's like, why do you have that?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
over it.
but kind of not really takes. But like, does it actually take them there?
Yeah, they went there.
I know that, but I couldn't tell if it was like it just like imaginary land like takes you there and you can kind of interact with stuff, and then I didn't know if it.
I'll
physically
go
took 'em there
more
or
into
not.
it when we actually review like the characters in general, but it felt like one of many things that they add to it to make you feel sympathetic towards somebody.
Okay. All right, we'll get to it later. We'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to it.
Put a pin in it. I hear.
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it.
All right, well then let's go over all the main actors in this movie. What did you think of Emma Watson as Belle?
Emma Watson as Belle. Well, my girlfriend did not like her singing.
I remember you telling me that.
She actually hated it. She's like really into musicals and stuff, and I did not mind it when we were watching it.
You
I like
did
brought up
not mind it?
like I brought up like how like she sounded like, from what I remembered, mildly similar to Belle from the animated one, but like I'm talking to someone who, when she was sick, just put Beauty and the Beast on repeat and then was like, would fall asleep watching it and just like repeat on and on and on. And she was like, she was awful compared to animated Belle. And I was like, oh, all right, I'll take her word for it. But I did pick up on how Emma Watson was, when it was just her trying to interact with people, was a lot more unlikable than the Belle from the animated one. And there was definitely scenes in there that they threw in to be like, to make you feel sorry for her as it went on.
Oh yeah.
Like, the whole, like, fucking, like, having the people dump her laundry out because she's teaching a girl to read.
Yeah.
Which was so...
Yeah.
It was just so obscure that I laughed out loud when they did it.
What the hell was that about? Yeah.
Because if you watch, like, the animated version, when she's singing the funny girl named Belle song, like, she's interacting with people, like, they're being nice to her, but she's like, I like her, but she's kind of weird. But, like, in this one, like, she's kind of a bitch to him. Like, she's, like, not even talking to them. She steals a piece of bread for no reason. Like...
She just said in the first one.
No, she doesn't steal any bread. Like, she walks by a baker and takes his bread, and he's like, what the fuck?
That's what happens in the other one.
No,
Doesn't
like,
she?
someone else takes it.
Oh.
But she takes it and just, like, starts eating it, and the guy's like, what
She
the
shoves it
fuck?
in her sack, too.
Yeah, she just, like, takes it and fucking shoves it in her... Like, never talks to anybody... Like, and the only person he talks to is, like, the leader of the head of the library, where there's only like, I guess like 6 books in the library. But yeah, other than that, she's just kind of in her own world, and everyone's just like, well, I guess she's okay, but she's kind of a bitch. She's not talking to anybody.
Yeah, because her head's up in the clouds.
So then she like does her laundry in like the public water supply. Where it's like, yeah, I want to drink a big cup of soap because you want your whites whiter.
That was not the public water supply, was it?
It was like a big fountain in the middle of town in a poor French village. I don't see how they won't use that.
So did she set up the donkey and barrel?
What the hell,
It's
Joel?
not the public
I want
water
to see.
No, they
footage
set it
of
up.
this.
They set up like she invented it. Like they did that whole thing where she was like putting it together, and then she's like, "Oh, I'll do this," and then she fucking gets her clothes in this big barrel because they wanted to make her like she's an inventor like her dad. That's how I put it together.
I just don't know.
But then
What
she.
the hell is going on?
But then,
right
yeah,
now?
but then they dump her clothes out, not because she's like doing that, but
because
because
she's trying to teach a
teaching
child
a
to
girl how
read.
to read.
Okay, so she's kind of a bitch, but they're just like kind of dicks. So like whatever,
Yeah.
man.
So everyone's kind of dicks to each other.
But I mean, like,
Yeah.
really, if she was a bitch anyway, like her teaching somebody how to read, like that's not her being a bitch. That's
No,
those people being absolutely retarded.
Yeah, it is dumb. But I felt like they threw that in where it's like, man, I feel like people are kind of sympathizing more with the townspeople than Belle. Let's fucking make her throw her clothes out in the middle of the street because she's teaching a little girl how to read. Like they did that with Gaston at one point too, where it's like, that was that one point where I was like, I'm kind of digging Gaston. Like, he's not like a total dick like he is in the animated one. But then they do that weird thing out of nowhere where it's like, I'm going to go and try and kill your dad. Why?
He tried to kill her dad in the first one.
No, he didn't. He tried to put him in an insane asylum to,
Well, yeah, and then he like, oh wait, no, he
He tried to put him in an insane asylum to, like,
lover
convince
in the-
Belle to marry him. Like, he would release
Didn't he throw
him.
in the snow though, or was that just his?
No, he
lover?
just like treated him like shit. But like when he came in, he was like, my daughter got captured by a beast, and he was actually like, okay, let's go and try and save her. Like he actually went out and tried to help. And then out of nowhere, just at one point, he's like, fuck this, I'm just gonna tie him up and have wolves eat him.
Crazy old Maurice.
Also, I felt like the movie like expanded upon like the whole Maurice and Gaston thing like too much, because in the cartoon doesn't like Maurice come in after the Gaston song and then they go right to the
Yes.
castle?
No, they
No,
don't.
no.
He
that's
comes
when
in.
they
He
send
comes
him
in. And
off.
everyone like laughs at him because
Yeah.
he's crazy, and
They
that's
kick
when
him out, and
Gaston is
Gaston's
like,
crazy
Yeah.
old Maurice.
and then Gaston's like, oh, people think he's crazy, so I'll get him locked up in an insane
Yeah.
asylum. So when
Oh,
Belle comes
okay.
back, I'll be like, hey, I'll release your father if you marry me.
And then she's like, never. And then
Okay.
he's like, fine. And then she's like, I'll show
But
you
in
the
this,
beast.
but in this scenario, they actually make Gaston like seem like a nice guy, where everyone was like, "Fuck you, you're crazy," and Gaston's like, "Hey, well, if we find Belle, maybe that'll win me some points where I can actually marry her."
Mm-hmm.
And then just out of nowhere, he's like, fuck this, I'm gonna tie him up and have wolves eat him." Like,
Yeah,
where'd
dude.
that come? And he like brings up like this, like, "Oh, it's a perfect plan. I'll have wolves eat him, and then Belle will marry me." That makes no
Sounds
sense. That's like the fucking
great.
sock trolls from fucking South Park. Where it's like, steal socks, blank space, gain profit.
Well, if I was Gaston though, I'd be pretty pissed at Maurice by the time we got to that fork in the road and he's like, which way? Okay, maybe this way, but the tree is there, but it was down, but maybe I go... Alright, fuck
Yeah.
this guy, I'm gonna feed him to the wolves. Because he doesn't know fucking shit right now.
Exactly.
And up to that point, like, Gaston actually seems like he's a horrible womanizer, but I have like
Yeah.
plenty of friends like that where I'm like, I'm not gonna... I have like plenty of friends like that where I'm like, I'm not gonna introduce you to any one of my friends, but I will totally ask you for your frickin' side piece stories.
Yeah.
Because they're entertaining to listen to.
I always loved Gaston because, like, everybody, like, the audience hates Gaston, but the townspeople love him because he's like a hero and he's good looking and like everybody's like, yeah, the only one who doesn't like him is Belle.
I love
And the audience,
Gaston.
because you get to see like his asides with like LeFou or whatever, just seeing like actually how much of a dick he is.
Like in this, like he actually treats LeFou with respect to some sort.
Yeah.
And like they're actually best friends. Like LeFou's even seems like a fun dude to hang out with. Where I'm like, I want to hang out with Gaston and LeFou. Like they just seem like two cool guys that go out and hunt and like talk about like banging chicks, even though LeFou loves dudes.
Yeah.
He loves Gaston.
That's true.
And I actually really enjoyed that little twist on the story. Like, and I like Josh Gad also.
He was amazing in this.
Yeah, I thought he was funny as shit, and
Yeah.
I didn't mind like that whole like, oh, he's in love with him. I'm like, that makes total sense. Like the cartoon should be exactly the same. Like, it's because like in the cartoon, it's like LeFou is like his little manservant, which is
obviously.
weird.
He
Yeah.
dribbles over every single thing that he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Josh Gad is like the one that's like, back off, ladies. And then like
He's like,
And then, like,
you
during
don't
the-
have a chance.
And then like I heard like a review where it was like, well, like the Gaston like ensemble, it was like it wasn't as good as the animated, and it's like you can't do what they do in the animated one.
You can't swing off of the fucking
Yeah.
light posts.
But the
and
way they play in the
spit all over people. And
but the way they
punch
play in the
people
live action
face.
one, it's like super fun. Like it seemed like like something I want to be involved in. It's just like a bunch of people in a bar getting together, doing this crazy song and dance.
It was awesome.
Like when he when he says like the size of a
Yeah.
barge and he lifts
Oh,
Josh
he lifts
Gad and does
both
the
of them
fucking like
up?
finger in the mouth like ooh like oh my god, that was like so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
And then you have Belle was just like, I don't deal with those ruffians. I'd rather read my
There's
book.
so much more to this prevention life.
Like you see these
Shut
people
up, bitch.
Yeah, like you see like you see these people in this town like actually like getting together having fun, and then you see Belle like, I'm above you. Like,
Yeah, totally
oh
a
my
wet blanket.
God. But then they do
But
shit.
I'm also gonna fuck a beast.
Yeah.
So
But
whatever.
they just throw shit in there where it's like, oh shit, Belle's kind of coming off as a prude and everyone else is coming off as kind of fun. Let's
We
throw in these
better
things where you
make
feel
her-
sorry for her. Like, I feel like that's what the whole mom's storyline thing was about, where it's like, let's watch your mom die of the plague so you feel more sympathetic for Belle. It's like, I wanted to like Emma Watson as Belle, because I like Emma Watson, but everything she was doing as a character, I was just like, I don't care, until they threw in something where it's like, well, that sucks, but I still don't really like you.
Oh, I think I liked her just fine. I didn't see much.
I didn't like
She
her.
was just,
I didn't like her at all.
She was just doing what she was told. Like, she didn't really have like that
Like
fucking
an actor?
She didn't have, no, she didn't have like that fucking like she didn't have like anything that like drew me to her. Like, she's like the most beautiful girl in the village, but that's it. She didn't really have like any charisma where I'm like, I would love to be with someone like Belle. It was just like, I read books and I want to marry someone that's like super rich. That's like all she emits throughout the whole thing.
No, she like, I liked her portrayal in this because she's just not a pretty face. She's also really smart, and she probably realizes that she's smarter than a lot of the dumb townsfolk that she deals with.
Yeah, the Gaston lovers.
Yeah, so like, I don't know, I felt like she was in the right frame of mind.
That she's better than everybody?
She is! She's the most beautiful person in town, and she's pretty smart.
But she never seems to try to connect with anybody until she
Tries
like just
to
with her
teach-
dad.
She tries to teach
Like, she lives in
kid how to
this.
read.
She like reminds me of like those like girls that are like really pretty, but they stay in the small town, so they feel pretty all the time. That's how she struck me.
That kind of reminds me of that too. Like,
right.
she wasn't trying to even
Yeah,
like,
she wasn't trying to reach outside of her boundaries. She was just staying in the
just like,
small
"I'm better
town
than
and then like
everybody."
bitching about how everybody sucks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's not allowed to like live outside of town because her dad like wants to keep her there.
I
Okay,
didn't
so
really
her
get
dad
that.
wants to keep her there?
Yeah.
So she can leave.
So she can be safe from the
No,
plague.
I'm saying she could go do what she wants to do, but she's just gonna stay there and be a stuck-up bitch because her fucking dad wants her to.
I guess.
Because her dad's got googly eyes and fucking blows up everything in his goddamn basement every other day.
This also didn't take place in
It did not-
2017.
Yeah, it did not. It blew up in the animated one.
Yeah, it did blow up in the animated one.
But no, like
Learn
I don't
a
know.
book.
I would have liked Belle a lot more if she would just seem like if she was like trying to connect with like the townspeople.
She just seems like she's just very distant and standoffish towards
like in the
people.
Belle's in like the Belle opening number in the animated one, like she's actually talking to people and they're being nice to her, but then they talk behind her back.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so you're kind of dicks for doing that. But in this, she doesn't talk to anybody. She talks to the librarian. That's it. Everyone else, she just walks by, steals a piece of bread. Doesn't even fucking care about anybody else that she comes in contact with. And they're all like, she's kind of fucking weird. I'm like, I agree with you, townspeople. She is kind of weird.
She didn't... I thought she dropped, like, a few pence, like, and the baker's, like, tray that he carried around.
All I remember seeing is that she took a piece of bread, and he was like, what the fuck's happening?
She did pay. I swear to God.
I think she did.
I don't know.
I think she dropped
I
a few
only
ruples.
saw it once. She dropped rupees, I think. It was like Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Zelda was in the background, but...
You mean Link? Or actual Zelda?
No, the girl.
Okay, just hold on. Just making sure.
Because this is Princess World.
Got it. Because it's the Disney amalgam
This is the
movie.
beginning of the Disney fucking
Yeah, the Disney Princesses.
Avenger movie.
Yeah.
But even like in the animated one, when she's talking about her book, like she's talking to sheep. Like animated.
Yeah.
See, that's what I can't relate to.
Like but she's actually like in the animated one, she's actually sharing like her love of books with somebody else. In this, she's just like talking to herself, like. She's like talking to herself like, oh, I love this book. It's so amazing to myself. And I'm like,
no,
if you're going to live in this small town, at least try to connect with people. You just seem like you're like hermiting yourself. And I can't connect with you.
Well, I liked her. I didn't find any
problem. I liked
problem.
the movie, but I agree with Joel. She was a bitch.
I wouldn't say she was a bitch, but she was
a
definitely cold.
See you next Tuesday, I think.
She came off as
shoving words in your mouth.
She came off as more cold than the other Belle
mouth.
that I know from the animated one.
Okay, I can see it. I still liked her though. Okay, and we've gone over pretty much everybody else, but what did you think of the big music numbers that are in this compared to the animated version?
I thought that they were actually really, really good.
Yeah. For being live action, they did them pretty well. There were some times where I wish they would have committed more because it felt like they were. It
sounds like you hate this movie, Jay.
No, I actually liked it. It's just that there was some times where they delivered lines kind of matter of factly.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Like, they were just like, we can't do this like the animated one, so we're just going to say it like it's a joke. And I'm like, no, come on. Just try and actually do it.
Not even during songs, but yeah. Like, sorry.
No, I liked everything they did, and like for being live action, they actually choreographed it really awesome. Like, I do like the waltzing they did, like kind of very like 17th century was kind of cool looking.
Oh yeah, Yeah, I like that
like
too.
the opening beast, or like the opening scene where like the fucking where they showed him like turning into the beast. They do that waltz, and then at the very end, like it was really cool.
All right, don't even get me started on him turning into the non-beast.
Can we get you? Oh, non-beast.
Oh my god, dude! Seriously, in the first one. Hated it, dude. Shooting out of his eyes and his fingers and his toes, and he turns out to look like the most freaking prissy ass bitch, piece of shit prince ever. So I was like, oh, it has to be different this time. Well, go figure at the end. He starts shooting light out of his freaking fingertips and toes, and then he turns out looking like a friggin' freak. I'm like, god damn it. I thought he would be hot, and he just isn't. He's just looks just
that
like
dude from Legion.
Yeah.
That's who it is.
I don't know what that even is.
Damn it, Rita!
I know! I'm the worst! But you know what's worse than me is the beast that turned into a frickin' human out of his frickin' toenails. Yuck.
I actually really liked the Beast in this.
I did too.
I like the Beast better.
Yeah.
I always like the Beast better. I would rather her stay with the Beast forever. Maybe I'm a sick freak.
I even like the subtle line thrown in. I was like, "You should grow a beard," and I was like,
Oh my
she's
God!
liking
Yes,
that shit."
I forgot about that. That is sickening. Because she obviously just wants to.
She just
F
wants
that
to
beast.
fuck an animal.
Yeah, no shit. Maybe I should grow up. Like,
Red
But no,
Rocket.
I liked the Beast in this,
flag.
like the way he portrayed it. Like it wasn't as scary as the animated one,
no, yeah, he wasn't as mean.
but
Go
like
ahead and starve. Nothing like that, but.
But no, like they like because they had that extra half hour to play with, they actually like developed their relationship better in this than I think they did in the animated one.
You know what? I wanted
Yeah,
to
I
see
agree.
him slopping up food in his mouth. I wanted to see them.
I did
playing
want
out.
that. I did want that more too. But like the
I wanted them to play out
but, like,
with the
the whole-
snowballs.
but I like the whole like
But he nailed
them,
her
like,
with that big ass snowball right in
Yeah.
his face.
But the way they the way they portray them like connecting over books and stuff, they didn't have that in the animated one. And I like that they put that in there where it's like, oh, I can see why they would like each other. As
Yeah.
opposed to the animated one where it's like gets attacked by wolves,
books?
fixes his arm, now they're dancing in a ballroom because they
Yeah.
love each other. Like, why do you like each other? Like you just saved him from wolves.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh, well, I guess I love
Because
you now.
it's the tale as old as time, Joel. And that's bestiality, dude.
But no, they
That's-
actually
it's the
throw
tale
in,
as old as time.
but they throw in that whole like, they throw in like that whole like thing of like we
Hashtag
connect
Adam
with
and
each
Eve.
other.
Hashtag Noah's Ark. Have you ever read a book?
The Bible?
Yeah, dude.
Read
But-
it cover to cover. It's pretty great.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
the fact they show how
Cover
they
uncovered.
the fact they show how they connect over books, it makes their relationship mean more than just being like, well, we're the main protagonists in this film,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we should fuck each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh God, they didn't ever have sex in this movie. For Christ's
Pink
sake.
Rocket. Pink Rocket. Hashtag 12 hearts.
Yeah, I also did like how they expanded on that, and they showed how like Belle actually could love like the Beast that didn't just turn into Stockholm syndrome kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I like that they expanded upon that. I liked it a lot.
I liked that Gaston shot him with a gun instead of a bow. Yeah.
I don't know. I like a good arrow sticking out of the
I
back.
did like the good arrow, but I also liked the good.
No,
God.
there's no more in the door, JT. You gotta search with the hand.
Damn it.
Gaston
You got it.
was such a bastard.
Oh my god, you're
I
making
didn't spill anything. That was awesome.
that's good.
Congratulations, JT.
Where's the... Oh, there it
Here we
is.
go. Here we go. This is great show. This is great.
Will we give it to
podcasting.
you? Will we won't? Will we won't?
Will we? Won't we? We will.
We will. We
What
will.
else? What else about Beauty and the Beast? Songs, characters.
Last time.
I don't think we really talked much about like the house servants, like Lumiere.
Oh yeah, all
and,
the supporting characters. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had a lot to say about that
Okay.
earlier. I don't understand why it's so important to the Beast to get these people back alive. Because once they become who they are, they're like 100 years old. They're all so old. I'm like, they're already like almost dead anyway.
Some of them.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
most of them. I mean, the dog and Chip. Chip's a kid, but I mean, like, so many of them are so old. Like, oh, it would have been such a tragedy if they would have just died as a
Cogsworth
clock.
kicked the bucket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ian McKellen, for Christ's sake, he's 115 years old. It's just, but whatever. That's just my opinion.
Because they've been, what the curse is 10 years old, right?
At least, yeah.
Because he
10
says like
years,
10 years
yeah.
you've been rusting.
Yeah.
So it's like 10 years.
Exactly. Lumiere's old. Black.
Lumiere
bitch
just has a
witch
powdered
is
wig that
old.
just disguises his age.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
that's what I kept thinking.
It was
about.
the age of powdered wigs. They were
Yeah.
really hot back
Okay,
then.
but the goddamn clock is Ian McKellen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
ancient.
He's ancient AF.
And apparently hates his wife.
Oh my god, I know.
He would have rather been a clock
I
than to
was.
go
love
back
that
with his
part.
wife.
love
Yeah, I do
that
like
part.
that too, that they actually threw in where it's like people actually did forget about them because of this curse, and they
Yeah.
like they ran in and was like, Is that my wife that's a dresser right now?
I want to actually talk about the dresser. I thought that was the most inventive, like, transformation.
Yeah, like they turned her face into those curtains.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
I loved the dresser.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I thought that was the most inventive one. Like, Lumiere looked good, but he was just a candelabra. Like,
And
what is he gonna do?
And Stanley Tucci is the piano. I don't think the piano was a big part of the animated one.
Not
well, you just
really.
watched it. You would know.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah,
No.
and it was cool. And like the
More
whole
like
thing
the
where like he
attack.
shot the keys to the people, and then like when he came back to life as a human, and he was like he had missing teeth.
Yeah, that was good. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I didn't know that Ewan McGregor was Lumiere.
Yeah, I heard that from a lot of people that they were like surprised that it was Ewan McGregor.
Like it's from us just doing the show. I thought we should have just known like everybody that was in it, and like I picked out Cogsworth really quick.
Yeah,
I knew Mrs. Potts was.
See, I didn't pick up on Stanley Tucci as the piano.
I didn't pick up on him either. I didn't know who Chip was, but like I picked out who Mrs. Potts was, and I was like, who the fuck is Lumiere? And then he turned into freaking Ewan McGregor, and I was like, oh yeah, it was Obi-Wan this whole time. But it was good.
Only
it was good. It was good. I liked the supporting cast a lot. It was actually done really well. And I actually, you know what I really liked? That every time the pedal dropped and like disintegrated,
they turned more and
like,
more into like what they were supposed to be. I like that.
I liked actually that at like the end that the last pedal dropped and they all sort of died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh shit.
Shit's getting
I mean,
real.
I know the end of this movie, and I know it's not going to just end now.
Man, is this actually happening?
Like they're all like
Is this
holding
gonna be
hands,
weird?
like they're all like holding hands, like
Yeah,
oh my god,
like
we're-
going
It was
down
like
the fire
yeah.
chute like Toy Story 3.
It was like the ending. It was like the end of like this is like the end of Toy Story 3, where it's like they're gonna come out of it alive, but they still have like
No, man, I
let's
didn't
all get
know.
together and hold hands at this last pedal drop. Like oh my god,
This is the saddest movie I ever saw in my life until I saw it. I cried.
Beauty and I welled up at this movie, actually.
Really?
It was like the part where he tells Belle to like just leave the castle or whatever and go back. I was like, that really hit me really hard for whatever reason. I was like,
Fuck away from
oh my god. And then like you kind of had to sit through like a Beast song, and I was like,
gonna say, yeah, there's a
oh,
Beast song.
this kind of put an end to it. But
I used to be sad until that Beast started singing.
But I was like, oh my god, like, because they build up the moment right before where, like, you see, like, everybody else in the castle is like, this could be it. This is, like, where we fucking get to be people again. And, like, he loves
"I'd
her
send
enough
away."
that it's like, no, you can go.
Yeah.
And it's
They're
like,
like,
oh my god, that's
"What?"
so tragic.
And then this
Yeah.
Belle, being the Belle that she is, sells him out right away.
Yeah. I'll
like,
show you the
"Hey,
Beast!
here's
Here
the
he is!
No, my dad's telling the truth. Here's the beast. Go kill him.
Dude, I love that part. Let's kill the Beast! And then they get all the freaking mob flames. Yeah.
You love a good mob.
Dude, I love murder. Sorry. God, you guys have been talking about sappy shit. I just want to talk about killing.
Let's talk about crying and emotion, please.
Yeah. Murder. Death.
Yeah, I thought I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit.
I
And
really did
yeah,
too.
I
I
don't
really
think-
thought I was going to hate it, but I mean, it was
Yeah,
just,
it
was
felt like
really
a total
good.
cash grab, and for some extent,
All of
maybe,
these, like, remakes,
yeah,
though,
for some
are.
extent, it probably was, but like there was enough stuff in there where I was like, you actually tried.
Yeah,
I
they
liked
like
it.
made like 90% of the lines were the same.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, the
it was
choreography
good.
was really cool
It was
for
good.
for being live action and being like trying to like stay true to something animated. Like the choreography was pretty amazing.
I
to
loved
watch.
that Gaston song.
Oh yeah,
God,
that's
it
my
was
favorite.
so
like,
well
That's
made.
one of my favorite things. In
I
all
just
of
was
can't
so
Disney.
well
even believe
made.
my mom was like,
Yeah.
"That's
Shit on
just
everything you
shit."
love.
I'm like, what?
I like the like seeing how they like portray LeFou in like the animated one, and seeing him in this, where you're like, I kind of like LeFou.
Yeah.
like, he's kind of a really cool guy.
Yeah, yeah. I liked how he's portrayed more in the movie than in the cartoon.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, like he's kind of like a sidekick
why
to this.
haven't any girls snatched you up? They say I'm creepy.
But yeah, like I don't know. He just seems like a cool guy, and that just makes Gaston even cooler. Where it's like when he actually try and make him seem like a villain, you're like, oh man, this seems kind of forced, but all right.
Yeah.
I mean, Gaston is a douchebag, but I fucking love him.
Me too.
Yeah, like he just seems like a fun guy to hang out with.
Exactly, dude. He uses
Like I said,
antlers and all of his decorating. I would've got that Gaston.
But
there's no other character like Gaston in any other Disney movie either.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Like
guy
I
you just
said, like
love
he
to
seems
hate.
like one of those guys where it's like if I had a female friend, would not set him up with this said person, but I would love to hang out with him.
Yeah.
I think they tried really hard with Jafar in Aladdin to make it. I don't think they really pull it off.
Yeah.
Well, he was supposed to be a suitor for Princess Jasmine. I don't think it worked.
Oh no, Jafar!
He was too spindly and mustache twirly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Jafar's so...
I'm convinced Jafar was gay because he doesn't come across the idea of marrying Jasmine until Iago's like, if you marry her, you could rule the kingdom, and he's like, I could.
I'm taking advice from a parrot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, they have family pictures together.
Like, yeah.
They are a couple.
Like, Jasmine is hot as fuck, and he's just like, oh my, why are they even trying to give her suitors? I don't know what. And then Iago's like, you could marry her and also become the emperor. I guess I could.
No, you say it like that, parrot.
Yeah. I guess I could kind of try and swallow the fact of actually being with a woman.
But don't swallow it. Because it's nothing like the man cum you're used to.
So, going into Beauty and the Beast, and it had, some negative criticisms of it, do you think that it was, I don't know, worthy of the negative criticism that it was
What was the main negative criticism?
I don't know,
of it?
but it was just getting lower scores than what I thought it was.
I don't think it deserves it because I think it was really, really close. I mean, as close as they could probably possibly get.
The only thing I can see it for being negative about is that there's no way they could match the animated one because what they do with the animated one, it's not possible but with human beings.
Human beingly possible. Also, that Beast song.
Oh yeah, Beast song.
That Beast song just blew. Shut up, Beast.
I liked it. Shut up.
Yeah, I know you liked it because you have a beard and you're a fucking beast. Who cares?
I am fucking a beast. No, I'm no.
Yikes, Molly!
No, I don't mean that. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean that. No, but no, like the
yeah, nothing.
I don't even know what I was gonna say. What?
Exactly.
Anyway, I was going over the negative criticism of the movie.
Oh yeah, the only way I can see people being negative about it is that they're like, well, the animated one did it better.
Yeah,
that's all I can see.
But still, I just didn't see when I first saw it, it was Rotten Tomatoes is at a 65%. I'm like, holy shit, that's really low.
Yeah.
So I was going into the movie looking for stuff to why did they rate this so low? I couldn't find a reason why they wouldn't give this a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
The only criticism I can give it is that they did stay so true to the original that they set themselves up for criticism.
But that's all of these
it.
Disney remakes.
That's
though.
it. Yeah. I don't know. The Jungle Book, they had enough to work with because it was everything was so realistic compared to compared to the original animated one where it's oh, you're actually seeing what looks like an actual bear being Baloo.
Yeah, but you're just looking at a lady who was a cartoon lady singing a song in a town full of people. With a guy with bread and
I forgot the guy with bread. Yeah.
Lumiere and Cogsworth, that was
Joel, he didn't get shit.
Lumiere and Cogsworth and all those those were kind of cool to see their renditions of those. Those are neat, but But I don't know. It was just maybe just the fact they stayed so true to the original maybe set
Yeah.
themselves
That's a
up
horrible
for
reason
a
to be
lot of-
mad at it.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
oh my
the
god,
original-
you were
the original
so
was the
true.
Welcome to America.
Yeah.
The original animated
fake
series
news!
was nominated for Best Picture when it came out.
It was.
So, like, I don't see, like, if it was trying to stay true to the original, like, why that would be such a bad idea. The original is
Yeah.
great. If you're trying to redo it,
Yeah, you
it
may
should
as well
also be great.
make it look like the freaking
Well, the
one
fact
came
that
out
the
first
original
time.
exists and they didn't build on it, maybe that's
Build
why.
on it.
Build
Well, they
on
tried
it.
to build on it, but it just didn't. It
But
kind of
that
just
Beast
added
song.
extra filler that wasn't
Yeah.
really needed to be
Yeah,
there.
they didn't
Yeah.
need to add that Beast song, Joel.
That's true. Beast song.
I'm saying it
just
wasn't
gonna-
the best song. It was
I'm
the best
just
one
gonna
out of the
keep
ones
saying
that they
Beast
added.
song until
God damn it!
hashtag
Until
You're like
Joel
hold
cries.
this against you hold this against me like I think it's the best song ever
until
made. I just
Joel
thought it was
leaves,
the best
I'm
one
going
they
to
made
say
out of the
Beast
original.
song sucks.
So, what would you grade in a letter scale, like go to school? What would you grade the live action remake of Beauty and the Beast?
I'll probably go. I'll go B plus.
I would-
with it.
Literally gonna say B plus stuff.
I would say a solid A. I really liked the movie. I really liked it. Definitely more than the 70% or 7.9.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely go better than that. But I feel like if I'm gonna go revisit the Beauty and the Beast story, I would go back to the animated.
I would also do the animated too. Like, the live action is good, but the animated version, all the songs are with like classically trained singers.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
they really can like belt it out and just like be amazing. See? Just like that.
Just like that.
Because I'm classically trained in sucking ass.
I thought you were gonna go a different direction there.
I mean,
I liked how you turned it on its head. I loved it.
yeah. Beauty and the Beast.
But yeah, I really like this movie. Give it a solid A.
All right.
Solid A.
B plus sizzle.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you want to join us on social media, do so at Review Pod on Twitter. If you happen to be a Facebooker, do that Review Pod on Facebook. You can find us at our host site at reviewreviewpod.podbean.com, but you don't have to listen to just there. We are also on a multitude of platforms such as Google Podcasts, Alexa devices, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts. If you happen to be an Apple user, rate and review us there, because if you like the show, that helps other people find the show as well. If you want to write in, do so at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening again. We'll see you next time.
And we're off.